If you love animation exercises and you want to try something new, or if you're someone who really loves animation but you have this issue every time you try to make a piece of animation, it doesn't look nearly as good as you were hoping and you end up feeling disappointed. What I'm going to show you now is one of those easy animation experiments, and it's gonna give you a beautiful sense of satisfaction and gratification. So we have this diving board, and what we're doing in this video is simply making that board to bounce up and down. Very simple, very straightforward, and I promise you, you're gonna really enjoy the final result. As you make it, you'll be enjoying this exercise, and hopefully my video would help you on breaking down that process step by step, while also learning about some of the fundamentals of animation. In this video, you don't have to number or think about numbers, which one is which whatsoever. We're not going to go with 1 and then 5 and then 9. No, I can't write 9. Instead, it's just fun experience. I'm in the flipbook mode, and also I'm gonna keep it loose. I'm not extremely comfortable because I want to make sure that the camera is top down, so I'm not extremely comfortable with my posture, so my lines wouldn't be perfect, and that's okay. It's gonna be a little loose. The first thing I'm gonna start with is the diving board, and I'll just make it a little thick and long so the exaggeration of the movement would be more evident. Next, I'm gonna jump into frame 3. I can go to frame 2 and create the next frame, and then go to the plus and sandwich a new frame in, but let's just go from 1 to 3. Typically for a movement like that, I would rotate the canvas, so especially when you have arcs, so I'm gonna do that. Now, one thing I can do, if you really wanna perfect this exercise, create a guiding curve like that, and based on that you would make every board spring according to that curve, more like this. But I don't like that. Why? Because it starts to feel a little too clean, too robotic, takes away the looseness from it, and also it makes it less fun. Okay? Embrace the looseness and the mistakes. So, I'm gonna go ahead and make that curve. Actually, for the initial one, I want to go all the way till it reaches this limit here. Okay, and then you want to keep in mind that this area here of the board is not exactly too flexible, so you want to keep that kind of main area to be a little stiff, just a little bit. Okay, so now I have this frame and that frame. Next, I'm gonna jump to frame 5 and take it all the way down. Maybe not this much, but more in a symmetrical way, given the laws of physics. Okay, and next I'm gonna go now and sandwich in between those frames, just so we can have our first sequence of movement. And like I talked before about in my previous video, you can calculate acceleration, and you can make the frame, instead of being in the center, you can make it to be more like here, instead of like here, would give you acceleration. Here it would give you the midpoint. Okay, so I wouldn't necessarily say that you have to make these calculations, but of course they do make a difference if you want to get meticulous with the process. So now frame 1, 2, 3, and then jumping here to 5, I'm gonna go to 4. Now this is the part where you may start to get confused with which frame is which. And this is where you go into the settings and you can adjust the onion skin to only show you maybe 2 or 1 frame. So if you feel at some point that you're getting confused, you can go back and adjust those onion skin frames. But for now, what I have is this one, which is frame 3, and then this one is frame 5. So this one has to be somewhere in here. A little too thick. Whatever, I'll keep it loose. Okay, so frame 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you would notice that sometimes it sort of expands, which is not really good. However, I'm going to talk at some point, maybe in this video, about how we can exaggerate that kind of action in a way that you can really exaggerate and make an extreme. This is where the old cartoons have really excelled in the way that they defied every single law of physics and common sense, and that's really what made them unique and out of the box. So you can definitely and even deliberately make those extreme changes. But for now, if I were to play, as you can see, this is the animation. Now it's a little distracting that some of them are much longer than the other ones. So I'm gonna go and just clean up a little bit, just so at least I would really get a good sense of the animation here. Okay, so if I were to play, I think this one is a little far. That's really what making things a little weird. Okay, so if I were to play now, that's it. Now the goal from here is to start to create this decay of speed, or basically fading out that energy. So what I want to do is to go from frame 5 now. Remember, frame 3, this here was the maximum. So I cannot draw the next back and forth to be here. I need to just break it down little by little. And like I said before, if you were to draw the arc, this would be perfectly simple, extremely simple. But I'm just gonna keep it loose as is, just so it would stay fun. Okay, so 5, and then I'll go jump to frame 7. Notice how I no longer see that frame. This is where you would go into the onion skin backwards and increase, and now I can see it. Now I don't think you can see it because it's a little too faint, and also because the opacity is not as high. So I'll just push out the opacity just a little bit for both of them, or quite a bit actually, not a little bit. So now we're also exercising the flexibility in onion skins, right? So frame 5 here, frame 7, it needs to be somewhere here. Not here, not here the previous maximum, but somewhere right before. And also, if you wanna keep it loose without making that arc, while also putting some boundaries, you can actually only worry about the animation of the tip of the board. Meaning, this is frame 7, right? 5, 7, and then I can go to 6 and say, I want 6 to be here, right? And then later on you can just draw the handles. It's really simple. This way you only worry about one thing at a time. Erase, clean it up, then go to frame 7, right there. It looks horrible, you erase, undo. Leverage the technology of undo. And speaking of leveraging technology, notice how it could be a little off. You can always, in case you have that issue, I think it looks nice, it looks okay here. You can always click on transform and you can just move them around. Okay. Now, this is frame 5, 6, 7, jumping into frame 9. Same thing, I want the 9 to be reaching only this point. Then frame 11 would go all the way there. So 7, 8, 9. So 7, which is here, then 9 over there. So 8 would be somewhere in here. And I understand that there's a little bit of distortion where it's getting longer as it goes up, but it's alright. I'm just keeping it loose. Just having fun. I've made the mistake before of obsessing about perfect lines and then I end up getting stressed with the process when animation is about creating a movement captured with drawings instead of really thinking about the lines. Okay, so 8, 9, 11. So in between this one here, as you can see, I'm getting a little confused now, so I'll go into the settings, go to only one frame at a time. So this is frame 10. Now it's a lot easier for me to say that this here is supposed to be my frame. And I'll go to transform, move it just a little bit. Clean here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 13 would be somewhere here, going back to the onion skin. The more frames and in-betweens we throw, the much better it is. Now, if you have stayed until now, I'm gonna throw you a pro tip here. If you've seen the Dover Boys animation before, you would see basically they throw the onion skin as part of the animation. So I'm gonna show you how that can be done here. It really allows you to save on how many in-betweens you draw. Let's say instead of drawing the board to go all the way here and then all the way there and then draw the in-between like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you actually can draw only one frame that has all of those like ghosts or shadows or onion skins. So let me show you here one more time. This is what the animation looks like, right? And this is not done, of course, but it's good for now. I think you pretty much got the point, right? Instead, what I'm going to do is to go to the frame here, then there. Now this one here is the aggressive movement, right? This one. Watch this. I'm gonna draw that. And even I'm gonna overlap it with the actual board. Okay, let's see what it looks like. I'm gonna do it again and again now. You pick the aggressive one where the animation is really strong and you start to draw more of that onion skin if you must. And you can even get artistic by even making this type of effect. So technically this would save you some frames to draw in between, but I'm putting that there along with the in-betweens to spice things up. And you feel that it just gives you that sense of vibration. Now I'm just gonna go to the ones that are really long. Towards the very end we get some really fuzzy vibration. So I can simply just add that there. Then here, then here. And you can also, if it's coming from up down, you can get more creative and just make this wish to come from that side if you want. More like an echo. All right, I hope this was helpful.